Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Hanisha's Fashion. On this video, I'm going to teach you guys on a tutorial on how to sew this Ankara fitting pencil skirt. But guys, please, thank you so much. But guys, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share this video. Now let's get to the video. First, these are the materials we're going to use for the video, and as you can see, the measurements for the dress, for the skirt, we've started. Now the hip circumference is 40, hip measurements is 40 inches, 40 inches as I have marked, plus my allowance 2.5 inch. So now we're going to mark this zipper line 1 inch as indicated in the video. Okay, so we're going to mark our 1 inch. Yes, our 1 inch. Then after that, after marking the 1 inch, we use our rule to draw a straight line, as you can see in the video. Now that we've marked it, I'm going to use the pin to attach the cloth so that it doesn't move whilst you're going to sew it. Now guys, after attaching it, now we are on the machine to sew. Okay, now that we are done with the stitching, going straight to the ironing board to do some ironing, to iron it so that it can look very smooth. Okay, now we're ironing it, as you can see in the video. Now we are done with the ironing. So guys, now is the measurement for the hip, waist to hip depth. The waist to hip depth is 10 inches. 10 inches. So the upper place is where the waist is located. That's where we're gonna get our waist dart. Yes, so waist to hip depth is 10 inches. Then our hip holder 15 inches. That's 15 inches, as you can see in the video. So our hip interval, that interval is 11, which you divide by 2 will give you 5.5, and our waist is 4.5, which you divide is 9. Then our knee is 9, which is 4.5, plus our hip holder to 9.5. So now guys, I'm going to attach the pin to the dart, as you can see in the video. So now that we've had our dart interval, we're going to hold it, then mark it. As you can see, I'm marking it. Now I'm drawing the line, yes, so I can stitch it straight and right without any bending. Now it's time to stitch. I'm going to stitch it according to the line I drew. I'm done with the first part. Let's left with the second part. I'm going to iron it again. So guys, now as you can see, I'm checking the intervals to see if I can get my measurement, which is 40, yes, plus some allowance. And I'm also checking the dart interval, as you can see in the video. So now I'm done with it, with the back. So we're going to fold the back, then we move on to the front. The front, I'm going to use a different material for it. As you can see, I'm going to use this material for the front, but we're going to add some of the materials from the back to it. Now I'm checking. After checking it, okay, I'm going to check the length. Now I'm going to measure 3 inches. Then fold it according to the markings. Yes, then make sure it's straight, then we cut it off. As you can see in the video, I'm cutting it. it has been cut off, we're going to use another fabric too. Yes, this material. With this material, I prefer to use the pattern. Yes, the pattern. So I'm gonna take the measurement of 5 inches. As you can see, 5 inches. Then the length of 23 inches. Of course, we're gonna see 23 inches. So I'm gonna take your scissors, yes, and cut it. So now that it has been cut off, we're going to attach it to the fabric. But because the material is a very stretchy material, we won't be doing the stitching on the material, but rather on the kente fabric. Yes, but rather on the fabric. So as you can see, I'm attaching my pins a half inch, yes, with an inch of a half inches. So we're going to turn and attach it rather. This is the back side of the material, yes, so that's where we're going to do the stitching. So now we finally attached it with pins. So the next step is we're going to use this fabric. Yes, consider use another fabric. So you can see as with this fabric, the length is very tall, so we're going to look for a different dimension where you can find the length we're looking for. Yeah, so on the other side we've gotten the length, so I'm going to take a measurement of the 12 inches. We're going to add our allowance of 2 inches. Yeah, 2 inches. So we're done with 2 inches allowance, so we're going to measure our length of 23 inches. 23 inches. Then yes, 23 inches. Then we use our rule or yardstick to create a straight line for cutting. So as you can see in the video, we're marking a straight line. So we're done with the marking, so we're gonna cut it. We're done with the cutting. Okay, so the next step is we're going to attach it to the front fabric. Yeah, so as you can see, I'm gonna attach this one, and also because the other fabric is very stretchy, we're not going to do the stitching on it. We're rather going to do it on the other fabric. But because we're going to leave a small hole, a small space at the tie of the tie side, left tie side of the dress, so we're going to mark our 1.5 inches. Yes, 1.5 inches for that space. So we're done marking, so we're gonna draw our straight line with the yardstick. Attach it with a pin. Yes. So we're done attaching with the pin, so we're going to take a measurement. Yes. See if we can get our hip measurement. So right now I'm looking for this center line. Now I take a measurement of 10 inches or 7. 10 inches, that's the 30 interval, so we're going to measure 9 inches. 9 inches. So we're going to check our hip circumference, which is 10. hip measurement by half. The hip measurement is 40, so 40 divided by 4 is 10. So plus the allowance, which is 2 inches. So right now we're going to take a measurement of 12 inches because you're going to draw a curvy line. It's a very curvy shape. So we're going to draw a very curvy, little curvy line to the hip and the allowance. Then you can either draw it this way or the other one. We're done cutting. We're going to remove the fabric we cut. We're going to use another fabric. Yes, another fabric. Gonna cut it. As you can see, I've placed the material there. Now, of course, we cut the material, the front size, the measurement is going to decrease when we sew it. So we're gonna add some seam allowance of 1 inches to it, so that after we finish sewing it, you can get the exact measurement. We are now done with the cutting. I'm gonna do another cutting. I'm gonna measure 3 inches, then another 5 inches. Oh, sorry, it's 4.5. 4.5 inches. And back 4.5. Use our yardstick to draw a straight line. Then cut it. We finished cutting it. I'm also going to place it. Let's cut it. As you can see, checking to see if everything is fine. So in the next one, we're going to use this material. That's this material. Because we have to change it. So now I'm done cutting it, so I'm gonna attach it to the material. Yes, as you can see in the video. Attaching it with a pin, but still at the same time, because the fabric is very stretchy, I'm not gonna attach it on the fabric but rather on the other material. So now we're using the pins to attach the two fabrics together. We're going to stitch it on the hard fabric because the other fabric is a very stretchy fabric, as you can see in the video. So now we're done attaching the two fabrics together. Yes, we're done attaching it together. That's the first part of it. So it's left with the second part. So we're going to attach this one to the fabric. At the same time, we're going to sew or stitch it on this material rather than the stretchy one. So I'm using the needle or the pin to attach it. So now I'm done with the second part of the fabric. So I'm going to attach it to the material. I'm going to use pins to do it, but we're going to cut off the excess allowance. I'm going to cut this excess allowance off. So now I'm done cutting the excess allowance. So I'm going to use my pen and measure 1.5 inch and attach it. Now I'm done attaching the second part of the material to the first and the front part. So now we're gonna cut all the excess allowance at the waist. Now I'm done cutting. This is how the first part or the front left hand side is going to look. So now it's left with the right hand side, the right side of the skirt. Now we're going to look at the center. Gonna measure our hip circumference, which is 10, and waist to hip depth, which is 10 also, plus our seam allowance 2.5 inches. Then I'm gonna measure 2 inches at the waist. We're gonna measure another 5 inches. 5 inches. I'm gonna draw a triangle line from the waist to the hips. We're gonna measure 3 inches. To measure the 3 inches, I'm going to take our yardstick and draw a triangular straight line from the 2 inches straight to the 8 inches, or where the 3 inches started. We're going to measure another 3 inches alongside the line. So now I'm going to take a yardstick and follow the pattern with the ruler and draw a straight triangle line. So now I'm done drawing the triangular line, so I'm going to cut it into two. I'm cutting the first face. Now I'm going to cut the second face. With the second face. So the next stage is I'm going to place the first face on another fabric. Yes, I'm going to place it on another fabric. Now that I've placed it on the fabric, I'm going to cut it into the same shape as the first one. I'm going to add a seam allowance to it so that after stitching it, you can get the exact length. So now I'm going to cut it. So now I'm done cutting it. So I'm going to attach it with the front side of the skirt. So right now I'm going to use pins to attach these two fabrics together. I'm done attaching the first layer to the right side of the fabric, so it's left with the second layer. I'm also going to use the same method as I used the first one to do the second one. Attaching it together. So guys, this is how the front will look like before after stitching. Thank you guys for watching this video. This is the part 1. I'll make sure to do the part 2. Thank you guys.